Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dania Nurain Binti Luqman Hakiim and I'm from Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Desa Petaling. Today I'm going to review one of my favorite books with the title The Legendary Seven Lost Treasure, The Third Treasure, The Maze Ring. It all started when the Tia Sister were five best friends who loved to travel. They were on a vacation in Italy with a tour guide, Sebastiano. They were also on a mission to find the third lost treasure that were left by Aurora. Aurora was the one who discovered about the legendary seven treasure and hid them, leaving the clues behind. They didn't know how to start to finding the treasure, so they went to Sebastiano's house. At Sebastiano's house, Sebastiano's great-grandfather Jacopo was friend by Aurora. Jacopo had left a diary about his adventure, and inside his diary there was a letter that was written by Aurora. Inside the letter there was a clue that were left behind by Aurora about the third treasure. The Tia sisters were excited when they read the letter, and they quickly packed their things to find the treasure. They know that the request gonna be risky, but they determined to succeed it. After reading the letter, they flew to Japan to meet Kyoko, but sadly Kyoko was gone. But there was a plant that were named after her. So the Tia sister quickly goes to the nearby local botanist, Toshio. While Toshio is showing them around, Toshio mentioned that Kyoko had an office. The Tia sister was shocked and asked Toshio to bring them there. At Kyoko's office, they were searching all the clues that they could find in her office. They found a very thin sheet of rice paper with a logograph on it. The paper has a written poem, a short poem, as it said, "At Jomansugi, I left my voice for whoever wants to hear it." Jomansugi was an ancient tree mentioned Toshio. The Tia sisters were shocked and continued searching all the clues inside Kyoko's office. After collecting all the clues, they should already discover the location of the treasure, but they were too late. Professor Luke has already stolen the treasure and leaving his drone behind. The Tia sister pick up the drone and disassemble all the mechanicals inside the drone. They managed to track a GPS inside Professor Luke's drone. The drone was controlled by Professor Luke in his lab in Alaska. The Tia sisters were shocked and they had no choice but to pack their things, buy ticket plane, and fly to Alaska. After arriving at Alaska, they quickly drove to the location of the Professor Luke lab. But when they arrived, there was no lab. They thought they were lost and they wanted to go back to their hotel. But suddenly they realized there was a staircase that lead to the underground. Without hesitation, they go to the staircase that lead them to the underground lab. At the entrance, there was a map. The Tia sister read the map and they saw there was a room that called treasure room. They thought they were gonna finish their mission by going to the treasure room, but it's not easy as they thought. Before passing to the treasure room, they need to pass through some elements room, where they had trapped themselves inside. After the Tia sister had separate from each other and trapped inside the elements room, only Violet survived among four of them. So Violet quickly goes to the treasure room to find the third lost treasure. But suddenly, Professor Luke was behind Violet at the entrance of the treasure room. She was shocked, but Professor Luke doesn't do anything. Instead, he offered her to become his partner in crime, and he gave her half of his riches. But Violet Violet didn't want to. So Violet chose the treasure instead of becoming his partner in crime. Professor Luke doesn't do anything and left her alone in the treasure room. Violet quickly goes to the control room where they saw a camera that has all of that was inside of the elements room. She tried to push all the buttons at the controller, but suddenly she accidentally touched a self-destruction button. The self-destruction button are gonna blow in 1 minute. But Violet was very panicked. But seeing her friends inside the elements room trapped, she calmed herself down and tried to find the button to release her friends. She managed to release her friend from the elements room. After that, they regrouped and they hugged each other after a while. Then they took some time to wander around the lab. After that, they went to the underground station train. There they found an old mechanical train. They thought there was an exit. So they went inside the old mechanical train and tried to control it. After that, they managed to get out from the Professor Luke lab, and they managed to solve the mystery of the legendary seventh treasure, the third treasure, the maze ring. The moral of the story is, if we work together, anything that impossible become possible. That's all from me today. Thank you very much for listening to my book. Thank you.